Do you think dual citizenship for Indians sitting outside of India is required, and what is your thoughts to start with? Why don't we start with Kamalakar Rao Garu and see what he thinks about it?
Yeah, my personal view is definitely so much of contribution from the diaspora.
Yeah.
Be it numbers which you were given just now, it's a phenomenal number, it's a huge number. Be it technical side, be it in information technology, be it in investment, be it in industry. The 2001 report which you referred, which is a 500 pages report, much more detailed. They've consulted 20 countries, diaspora in 20 countries, and missions in abroad, and they have come to a conclusion after weighing the pros and cons. Imagine this is no one's report. This is the Indian government itself. Report. It's a report made by the Indian government. The committee categorically recommends dual citizenship to the diaspora to the limited number, not all, limited number of countries which they feel that it's safer to introduce. And there are limitations in that also. There are rules and regulations which everybody has to follow. It's an application process, you follow the rules. And there will be a vetting by the government. There is a due process. And also the report of 2001 clearly indicates certain countries like neighboring countries, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Pakistan, they are not eligible for the dual citizenship.
We'll get into that.
What I'm trying to do that you see definitely it's give and take. If India is benefiting out of diaspora, so the diaspora, all that they require is a sense of pride and emotion and integration with the India. So that's their primary requisite, because they were born and bred there. The connection is more important. That's how, because that's the connection itself, their emotion itself, bringing a lot of good to the India. So when a lot of good is happening, India must give return back and give them the self-respect. That's what my view is.
That makes sense. So Prabhakar ji, from your lens of banker, you have dealt with so much of money and all. The number that I gave you is for 2024. Yeah, but how prominent or significant is the contribution of Indian origin people outside of India to the economy of India, and what is your experience?
That's number one.
100
million is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Billion is a lot of money. And we are probably the number one country as far as the countries go in terms of diaspora investment back to the country.
That's true.
Or remittance back to the country.
Right. That's so true.
But there are other countries also. You have Brazil, you have China, you have Philippines, for example, filling up about 1/4 of their budget.
True.
One is the amount of money that the diaspora is remitting back.
Correct.
But that's mostly probably because they're not in a position. They're not in a position to find any investment in the country of residence. Whether are they doing it out of loyalty? That's a question mark. They are doing probably because they find it much better to remit back. Okay. Then since you talked about the 2001 report, very voluminous, covers a large number of items, as all of us have seen. But one, Government of India has moved on. There comes PIO, then they came up with OCI. The OCI takes care of majority of the requirements of the diaspora. The issue will be, is the diaspora asking for it in different countries or just in the richer in the OECD countries? One. Two, are they saying that, look, since we are not having citizenship, we are not investing money into India? Since we are talking about it, billions and millions all the time.
Billions.
So billions all the time. So the millions that NRIs can bring into India, or the diaspora can bring into India, is it something blocking them from doing it because they don't have citizenship? That's one question. Plus, above all, Government of India, does it find it financially viable? Is it worth it? Finance is one thing. Plus, of course, security of the nation. That question mark is always there. Whether countries where we do not want people to come in.
Yeah, I'll come to that. Challenge piece,
exactly.
For sure.
So all these factors have to be taken into the country. Finance is just one aspect of deciding dual citizenship.
But at the same time, what Kamalakar was telling about was on the the point around pride and connection with the country. That comes definitely. I'm sure when you had to let go your citizenship, you would have felt emotional.
Is
that a case? Or?
Of course, for every one of us.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
all our grandparents probably would have gone to jail. Grandmother went to jail. This kind of thing is always there in every family's story.
Yeah.
So naturally, you feel the pang of it
Correct.
when these things would happen. But like I keep saying now, Saint Kitts, for example, was the first one to start this citizenship by investment. You put in some money into the country, then we'll give you a passport. Large number of countries have taken it up. Yeah. So now citizenship is supposed to be a matter of convenience. The view of most people now, globally, who travel globally, people like you would have stayed in Dubai for some time, US for some time, UK for some time, stayed in about 4 or 5 countries. When I have little less loyalty, of course you don't have so many passports. But there are people having half a dozen passports. So their loyalty is question mark. So that's also another issue, whether it's a matter of loyalty and commitment. Are you willing to give your life because of the passport? Or is it just a matter of convenience, permitting you to travel wherever you want or invest wherever you want?
Interesting. I'll come to you, Varadarajan. So your reflections on dual citizenship to start with, and then we'll go
Well, I
back.
think it's not if, but it's a matter of when. So ultimately, it's all a timing issue. The reason we are having this discussion even now is that it's taken a long time, say from the 2001 report to 2025. The thing is, we saw the PIO card being introduced, and then once that was introduced, you had the operational difficulties. So when that was taken up, the OCI thing came up almost after 10 years after introduction of this. So hopefully now things will change. That another 10 years have passed. At the same time, there are a lot of factors which need to be considered. I mean, you spoke about loyalty to India. I mean, repeat, I still feel that, that we are having this conversation itself is testimony to the fact that you can take an Indian out of India, but not India out of an Indian.
Correct.
And everybody has got that attachment and affinity. But I would put it this way. Say this doesn't happen, say, for another 30 years or 50 years, right? Then what happens to not the immediate next generation, but say our grandchildren or others? There are a lot of people, say, who've been in Africa, who moved back here. They have never been to India. So then they'll lose the connection with the roots. Yeah. As far as the finance and remittance numbers are concerned, of course, that's again, the contribution is significant because even when you look at the overall percentage to GDP that these remittances constitute and how much of this when it comes to the balance of payment situation, how important this is. We don't need to remind what happened in 2012 and where India was when it came to this. So as far as the government is concerned, the government of India clearly understands all these things. At the same time, there are certain challenges which they need to address. And the issues are again from administrative, security, structural changes, legal, everything. All those things need to change. But more than that, it's a mindset that needs to change. So somewhere, maybe hopefully through this program again, you are able to drive the thought in that direction. And changes will have to happen from both sides. So clearly the diaspora also will need to clearly articulate what exactly they expect. And maybe you have a list of, say, 10 things. Maybe they may give in for 4 or 5. Hopefully the Indian Prime Minister will definitely consider this favorably. And that could happen.
Very well said, Varadarajan. When you mentioned about you can take Indian out of India, but you cannot take India out of Indian. It's very rightly said, and I completely agree, being an Indian.